TV, and that is why we must propagate our own.
National Discourse, weekdays on NCTV.
Good morning and welcome to National Discourse and Nigerians. And of course today we are all smiling in the studio today because history was made yesterday. Now yesterday the president declared June 12th as a new democracy day, and of course this is exactly one of the historical events we have in Nigeria. And then very significantly he said that 29th of May, which has been celebrating a democracy day that took place 29th of May 1999, of course talking about the democracy dispensation that started by 1999, is not very historic. Now the one that makes it more historic is the June 12th 1999 election. Of course MKO Abiola was conferred with an honor. Now we are looking at historical antecedents today. We'll go for a short break, and when we come back, I introduce my guests to you, a friend of the house, and of course, the person that is very eligible to speak about is an APC member. Please stay with us. Welcome to National Discourse.
Current affairs.
We must not extricate anybody from corruption. If any one of them is found wanting, the due course and the law must take its course.
Nation building.
Administration is slightly different from the last one in the fight against corruption.
We need to really task our leaders, who are the religious leaders, from the emir, from the bishops, from whoever they can.
Some of our village markets, there are people, they call them in Hausa Nakama. They are like Agberu in the markets. Whatever anything is not useful to you is not important to you.
Politics.
What happened in Benue might be political. It still has an undertone, not political, dated way back. If you follow history.
It's interactive.
Not part of Nigeria.
Okay.
And it will not be good for us.
When they gather their people, they tell them, these Hausa people are your enemies. When the Hausas gather together, they tell them, these Igbo people are your enemies. When the Yoruba people gather together, they say the same thing.
Who are we? We are just from the background, and today we are here in TV, and that is why we must propagate our own.
National Discourse, weekdays on NCTV.
You will come back from that short break, and of course in the studio with me I have Malam Ibrahim. You're welcome, sir. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much. I like that smile on your face. Thank you very much and welcome. And of course, let's still remember he's the senatorial aspirant for Kogi Central Senatorial District coming up next year's election. So today we say we are talking about historical antecedent. Now, sir, our president have decided to honor certain people that he thinks have made our history worthwhile when it has to do with democratic dispensation. And according to his statement, he said it's not just the October 1st and it's not just the 29th of May. Now that June 12th, 1993 was the mother of all of them, and he decided to bring this history to book. What do you think about it?
For all of us who are Democrats and politicians, there could be nothing better than the pronunciation that Mr. President made yesterday. I am not only happy because I'm a Nigerian, I'm equally most happy because it is the political party that I belong to, the APC, that took the bull by the horn and did what is right. What has always been right, that for whatever reasons people have refused to take charge. So if we are taking charge for the first time as a party, I think Nigerians should not only appreciate us, they should be happy and prepared to bring us back 2019.
Okay, now we are getting to whether it's a political point or not, right? Now, we are looking at historical antecedents. For us in this country, how did we forget for over 25 years? How did we forget? Now, this 25 years, we are talking about from 1993 till date. These 25 years have seen 6 military dispensation, 6 years of military dispensation, and of course 18 years or 19 years of democratic dispensation. How do they forget such a historical event?
That's why I told you that I am most happy because we have an honorable, distinguished person as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is not interested in only being politically correct, but he is always most interested in what is proper, what is right, should be done. You said history. It is not only June 12th that went down the drain until Mr. President opened the other end of the channel right now. The Biafran war went down the drain, and you can see the effect on us today. Because the sufferings were forgotten. June 12th, the average Nigerian today who is shouting on Twitter, Facebook, is between the age of 20 to 40. Take 25 out of 40. It means the majority of the assumed youths you have today do not even know the importance of June 12th. So if such people now go on social media and shout, I think we will need to re-educate and reorientate them on the importance of this particular day. How Nigeria became one. How North, South, East, West came out and believed in one person, voted for him. There was no issue of religion. There was no issue of tribe. There was no issue of West. There was no issue of North. From the primaries in Jos to the general election that brought MKO as the winner, you could see that Nigeria was happy, that at most we were putting an end to military regime.
All right, looking at this closely, honoring Chief MKO Abiola with the highest honor, national honor of Grand Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now this is happening 20 years after his death.
Like I said, we should be proud and happy with the president we have right now, in the person of President Muhammadu Buhari, now, because he has done what is right. The question we should be asking is, all the other people we had before him, why were they scared? Why were they not ready to do the proper thing? That is the question we should be asking. We should be happy we have gotten what we want, but for history's sake, we should also ask certain people that had ruled us before now. Why were they not able to do it? That's the question we should ask. It's not about saying why is it done now.
That question was to come. Yes. Because we've seen a whole lot of reactions trailing this. Right. Now, this administration came into power 2015.
Yes.
Until now, we have 3 years down the line.
Yes.
Now, why the sudden realization that I need to honor someone at this point? We have less than a year to election next year.
Sometimes Nigerians really interest me. I keep saying country is a continuum. It's a continuous thing. You should not assume, Nigerians should not assume that it is done now. No. It's a process that takes place. It's just 3 years. You had PDP that ruled you for 16 years and could not do it. So if you are fortunate to have a party, in 3 years, they've been able to make a wonderful decision that affects the democratic life of this country. We should be proud. We should not be asking why now. The question is, why not before? If you say why now, it is because of the processes that took place. It's just 2015, we are in 2018, for crying out loud. So we should be, I think we should be praying for more of this.
I'm beginning to think I was very fast with that question. Now, I still want us to go down to the histories, the kind of history we have in Nigeria that we should pick out. Now, if we have woken up as a country, I'm not saying as an administration or something, we have woken up to the fact that we started to honor history the way it's supposed to be, or history as it were. What other historical events have we had in Nigeria that is worth remembering for?
There was a time I was on air and I said the idiosyncrasy of a leader is extremely important. And here we have Mr. President, we have a political party that is interested in nationhood, in country, not individuals. If you look at history, you have had individuals who are more interested in themselves, not in the country. There was a time people were even talking of third term. You had times that people did not want to leave Aso Rock. They said they were stepping aside. Somebody died. As for the one that led to 29th of May 1999, I won't say he ran out because of circumstances surrounding the nation at that period. What I want you to know is history can never be forgotten. And as far as human beings live, what happened before will always resurface. Like a philosopher once said, not to know what happened before one was born is to always remain a child.
Okay.
We have Mr. President right now who is very much interested in making sure we are not children. We should know what happened before. It should always come to the fore, to our face, that something like this gave us what we have today. We cannot negate or neglect the importance of June 12th in the history of Nigeria.
All right.
People died fighting for this cause. The military leaving the stage cannot be said to just the military wanting to leave. It has to do with the pressures that this same date, this same Mr. MKO Abiola, Chief MKO Abiola, it is the day he won the election that eventually we, the Democrats, knew the day has arrived for the military to pack its things and go back to the barracks.
Okay.
That could have taken time, issues could have come up, but the issue is today we are enjoying the struggles that Chief MKO Abiola stood for, which is June 12th. It's history we should not be forgotten, that should not be forgotten. It's history that kids unborn should learn, that whatever freedom they might be enjoying as a result of the democratic process, there was somebody who stood for it.
Okay, now I asked this question. Don't worry, we are still going to the political line of it. Now, what other historical events do you think is worth upholding as a country? What other events, apart from Civil War? I know there are so many things that happened in the past that we get to read from books. What other things do you think, if this administration is the one, to take us back to history, what other things do you think the president should, begin to take recognizance for?
I will tell you something that what the nation should take cognizance for is not what an individual should want us to take cognizance of. What Mr. President has done is a collective of what everybody believes should be taking cognizance of. So what we should be talking about is, we should have a national discourse. What are those things that have affected us, north, south, west,
It's exactly my question.
Yes, yes.
My question is, what are the things that we need history have made? We've gone past in the past. What are the things
individually we might have attachment to? As
a nation, not as individuals.
Individually, we might have attachment to certain things as it affects our areas, our regions, our geopolitical zones. We feel should come to the national fore. Like the issue of Boko Haram, for God's sake. We can never forget this. We can never forget the wanton destruction this thing brought to us. The issue of the Civil War, the issue of the Metis Innis. We can't forget this. Our winning, do you remember 1996, Atlanta? We can't forget this. But we have to be specific. We have to be sure that what we are accepting is what has touched every individual in whatever form, in the most positive form.
Okay.
And I can tell you the freedom we all enjoy today. Today, look at, we have TSTV. It's because there's freedom in the country. If it was a military regime, I guess, how many private stations could boast of existence during the military regime? You cannot negate June 12th. It's such an important day in the life of our nation that for us who are Democrats are so proud of Mr. President that at best he has taken the bull by the horn and he has done what he has always been known to do, what is right, what is proper. And I'm happy it's the APC government.
No, sure. Well, I join Nigerians, or we join Nigerians from this studio to say congratulations to Mr. President for making history. I mean, this is history, regardless how you want to look at it. He has done what probably other people could not do. But we're getting to the reason behind it and every other thing. Now, there's some experts I want to read from here. He said June 12th, 1993 was the day when Nigerians in millions expressed their democratic will in what was undisputedly the freest, underline, right? The fairest and the most peaceful election since our independence. Let's pick them one by one. The freest.
I told you before you read this to me, for those of us who were in the know of what happened in Jos, the capital of Plateau State, during the primaries, then we were not used to delegates being given money in primary elections to vote. PDP brought this thing to us, where people had to be paid to vote in primary elections. That was a period where people believed in the characters of individuals, where you had wonderful people in politics who could stand tall and tell you what you deserve, what you need to know, who could convince you on the reason why they feel they were the best candidate. That was a period when you had wonderful negotiations. We did not have money back seizing opportunities to impose people on us like PDP brought to us. It is till date, until, and nobody can dispute the fact that that is the freest election. Nobody can dispute the fact that that was the fairest thing Nigeria ever produced before 2015.
There was no before in your dress. I had to thoroughly go through the presidential address or press release.
Before 2015, nobody can dispute the fact that that election was free and fair.
That is your view. Now, I'm reading from the press release.
Yes.
Now, if this is undisputedly the fairest and freest,
yes,
and of course most peaceful elections, what happened to 2015 election? Mr. President didn't capture this in his press statement.
You can't deny the fact that the juxtaposition of events have to be properly done. If you want to juxtapose 2015 to 2003, there are certain scenarios you will have to put. We are talking of something very important that has been done.
Sure.
We should not compare two things seemingly looking alike but not the same.
Wait. We are not comparing. I'm just reading out
I want you to understand something.
In your press statement.
Yes.
And I'm asking,
yes,
if it's the freest and the fairest, what do we have to say about 2015 that brought this administration to book?
I am trying to explain something to you. We had an election that was conducted by the military regime, who were not interested in handing over power. So they went to the field not believing in what they were doing. And then you had a civilian government conducting an election. Please, for God's sake, when somebody does what is right, what is proper, he should not be seen as doing something out of the ordinary. You had a civilian regime conducting an election. Two things: either you win or you lose.
Sure.
And the only way you lose is if it's free and fair. If it's not free and fair, you contest the election. PDP is not known to have contested the 2015 election.
You think it was by choice, or
it's not issue of by choice? This is a reality. PDP is not known to have gone to court to contest the credibility, the fairness, the dignity of the 2015 election. They accepted defeat because of the fact that they believed it was free, fair, and organized by them.
I think you have a first call. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning to you. Oh, we lost that call.
So please, when you talk of free, fair, that's why I said the juxtaposition of events have to be properly taken care of.
I didn't talk about it.
I know.
I'm
trying to explain to you.
That was released by Mr. President.
There was the only person to contest the 1992 election was the people that won the election, because they were sure it was free and fair. They contested it that you cannot cancel this election because it was free and fair. The only people that would have contested the 2015 election because it was not free and fair was PDP.
And I asked the question,
and they did not
was out of choice?
It was not out of choice. There was nothing to context. There was nothing to context. They knew and understood that they organized the election, they had the umpire, they organized the whole process thanks to card reader. So it's not that there was nothing to contest.
Okay, I'm still going back to this question. You've tried to have your way out of it, but there's no problem. All right.
I'm just telling you the realities.
Okay.
It's not me having my way out of it.
Coming back to this, I think you have a call. Let's pick this call first. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. morning, Madam Director. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Your name and where you are calling from?
My name is Honorable Victor from Kaduna State.
Right, please go ahead.
Yes, I'm interested in this program. I listen to this program every day. And the question today you're talking about, I disagree with the man that is speaking that...
All right, now, sorry. Before you go ahead, can you please turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you clearly?
Okay.
Can you turn down? Okay, all right.
Is it okay now? Hello? It's okay? Hello?
Yeah, it's okay. You can go ahead.
Okay, I listened to my man that is speaking there. He said there's nothing to contest. PDP had it to contest, only that it was just the APC were planning to bring a confusion in the country. And the PDP are the party that doesn't want any confusion. And we stand to say that we don't want any life to be taken. And we saw it, what happened in Kano. Everyone is aware of what happened in Kano. You cannot say Katrina was there. Katrina did not do anything in Kano. So if we want to talk on here, we should talk what is the reality, what people will know. Don't talk of what people don't know. Please, I want us to understand this clearly that people just wanted to let go so that peace will reign. It is not politics we are practicing, it is a religion, it is other things. We are not practicing the real politics. It is one thing to say that PDP do not want to contest, or PDP have disagreed also. Please, this issue should not come on here like this. The man is talking on the air. Please, let's respect what we say on the air, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. But before you go, let's still remember that everyone still have the right to their opinion, right?
Yes.
You have the right to your opinion. He has the right to his opinion, right?
Yes, but
regardless the party differences.
We have something to contest. The good of Jonathan did not want to contest because life will not be taken. That is it.
Now, straight a question: are you a PDP member?
No, I'm not a PDP member.
Okay.
I'm not a PDP member. But I know Goodluck did very well. That is why he has the credit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for calling. Sir, please, could you react to this?
It's interesting.
I like the smile.
Let me be honest with you. I don't live in a world of make-believe.
Okay.
We are talking about Chief MKO Abiola today because this is a fact. Let's be factual about what we are talking about. June 12th is a reality.
Thank you.
We all lived it, we are living it, and today we are happy we have a day that has been bequeathed to it. If Chief MKO Abiola did not contest the fairness of the election, if he did not contest the fact that he knew what was done was right and proper, we will not be talking about this today. If he had chickened out of fear, we will not be talking about June 12th today. I will not want to join issues with him because if you did not go to court, you have no case. It's not about what I think or what you think.
You know, remember I earlier asked you, they didn't go to court to contest. Was it out of choice?
That I am not a PDP man.
Okay.
Never have been a PDP man, but I'm talking at least as somebody who knows my left from my right.
Okay.
If you do not have a case, you do not go to court.
Sure.
There is nowhere in the world people have. We have ANPP, we went to court. CPC, we went to court. Why? Because we believe we had a case. If you have a case, go to court. If you did not go to court, you have no case. It's not about what I think or what you believe. It's about the realities on ground.
All right, now I would want to bring attention to another thing, right? Now, if you're saying that for this case we've not had 3 years fairest and most peaceful, I'm not talking about the dispensation now or who is leading now. Now, are we putting a question to the credibility of INEC? Now, there was no clause as to from 1999 to 2015, you were just putting that clause. I don't have any problem with that, right? Now, my question is, if this is sufficient, are we having a question to, or are we questioning the credibility of INEC, who have seen us through from 1999 to
I don't think you should question the credibility of INEC. You should question the credibility of individuals who oversaw a process that led to what INEC gave out.
But there's a body in charge of the process.
I want you to understand something. It was only since 1999. It was only in 2015 we did not hear of ballot box snatching.
Are you sure
yes,
about that?
Because of card reader. There was no need to snatch ballot box. Because if you snatch a ballot box from a voting position, from the place where people are voting to somewhere. There will be no card reader there until 2015. That's why I said the greatest thing that happened to us was card reader in 2015.
The young man that called last said there was nothing like card reader in Kano State.
No.
Can I pick this call? Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Pastor Ezekiel.
Okay, sir. Pastor Ezekiel from Edo State, right?
Yeah, from Edo State.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you know, we are talking about the history of Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
A man of June 12th, he has a history, a good history. If we are talking about the history, if you look at the President Muhammad Buhari today, the election that brought him to power is free and fair. I remember in 2010, there was a prophecy that said there is a passport party that is going to bring the names of the PDP down. And everybody was not believing, thinking that it's APC is going to bring it. That's why I always talking about unity. If there is unity, we will see the truth, and the truth will set us free in this country. If we look during that time, in 2015, you will look at the Boko Haram. What was happening that time? The killing everywhere. I remember when I was in Abuja, when that was 2005, 2004. I remember when the police officer is going to work all over Nigeria, they will not wear their uniform. They will just put their uniform in their bag and go to their work. When they get to work, they will wear their uniform.
What was the reason then?
Why? Because of fear in the country that time. Concerning Nigeria, today the last caller, the first caller that called, was saying that PDP was not want to contest or go to court to challenge the president of the election. All of know what happened in that election. That's why when they were not counting, he quickly called the president and congratulated the president because it was free and fair. In this country, like the man that called just now that said that it's PDP that does one. But in the election that brought Eko Abiola to the power, that made them they not give in. If you look, the election, the primary, according to the man that was talking in your studio, it was the primary, they were not giving money. In 2009, 1999, you see what happened. Money start changing hands. Before you do everything was no longer in normal. Money spoil everything. Money change the mind of people. How about we change the mind of people? That's why you are seeing today, even the APC today, if they want to do primary, they use money. It's because the tradition is already there, that they are laid down. What we need, I don't think that with all these things, whenever they want to preach that they are not going to use money, there is innocent party of this country. Because if you want to conduct the election, it's billions of naira. If you look at the man now that is want to contest as the Senate, he has a portfolio that is going to use as a primary. Without that money, he can never get his votes.
Alright, sir. Could you please make it short? We want to go for a short break now. Could you please make your call very short?
Yeah. Okay. What I'm just trying to say that when the President Muhammad Buhari, of his generation will never die, because what he has started, God will bless him for us.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you very much. Pastor will go for a short break, and when we come back, you react to this and we continue from there. And of course, don't remember, we are coming back with the reactions that have trailed this historical event with what the opposition party thinks about it. Please stay with us.
Welcome to National Discourse.
Current affairs.
We must not extricate anybody from corruption. If any one of them is found wanting, the due course and the law must take its course.
Nation building.
Administration is slightly different from the last one in the fight against corruption.
We need to really task our leaders, who are the religious leaders, from the emir, from the bishops, from whoever they can.
Some of our village markets, there are people, they call them in Hausa Nakama. They are like Agberu in the markets. Whatever anything is not useful to you is not important to you.
Politics.
What happened in Benue might be political. It still has another tone, not political, dated way back. If you follow history.
It's interactive.
Not part of Nigeria.
Okay.
And it will not be good for us.
When they gather their people, they tell them, these Hausa people are your enemies. When the Hausas gather together, they tell them, these Igbo people are your enemies. When the Yoruba people gather together, they say the same thing.
Who are we? We are just from the background, and today we are here in TSTV, and that is why we must propagate our own.
National Discourse, weekdays on NCTV.
Welcome to National Discourse.
Current affairs.
We must not extricate anybody from corruption. If any one of them is found wanting, the due course and the law must take its course.
Nation building.
Administration is slightly different from the last one in the fight against corruption.
We need to really task our leaders, who are the religious leaders, from the emir, from the bishops, from whoever they can.
Some of our village markets, there are people, they call them in Hausa Nakama. They are like Agberu in the markets. Whatever anything is not useful to you is not important to you.
Politics.
What happened in Benue might be political. It still has another tone, not political, dated way back. If you follow history.
It's interactive.
Not part of Nigeria.
Okay.
And it will not be good for us.
When they gather their people, they tell them, these Hausa people are your enemies. When the Hausas gather together, they tell them, these Igbo people are your enemies. When the Yoruba people gather together, they say the same thing.
Who are we? We are just from the background, and today we are here in TSTV, and that is why we must propagate our own.
National Discourse, weekdays on NCTV.
You welcome back from that short break, and of course, coming back, I would want you to react to what the last caller said before we move over to what the opposition thinks about this move.
I think Nigerians should be more optimistic and realistic like the last caller. What is true, what is false.
Okay.
And we should believe in the fact that we are all Nigerians. We do not have any other country apart from Nigeria. So anytime we find somebody who is ready and willing, like Mr. President, to do the proper thing, we should give him all the support that he needs.
Okay.
That's very important for us.
Now, moving over to the People's Democratic Party, and of course the major opposition that we have in Nigeria now, and of course the opposition to APC. Now, their spokesperson, Kola Ologbodiyan, has raised some issues. Now, first of all, they faulted this and said it was a wrong move. In as much as this morning we've seen one of the PDP chairperson, commending the move. But through their spokesperson, they raised some salient points, and I would want to, bring up some to our notice. He said, number one, that this move showed smacks of hypocrisy and political desperation ahead of 2019 election. All right. Now he's saying that this is just to use Abiola's name to get the Southwest votes. In this regard, they still recall that President Buhari, who was serving in the military administration of General Sani Abacha during the travels of Chief MK Abiola, did not associate either by words or actions with the late winner of June 12th election, 1993.
I'm happy you said opposition party.
Sure.
We are in a democratic dispensation. What is their job? Politics. I do not see anything wrong in what he's saying. He's just doing his work. If not, he'll be jobless. We have to do the right thing for them to think of what to do. If we do not know what is proper, what is right, they will have no job to do.
Okay, now
they will have nothing to oppose.
There are two things here.
Yes,
their point.
Yes, and
using this as a gimmick to get the vote of Southwest. Do you see that true?
I do not know where he did his research. Who he has given money to go and research and see that doing the proper thing, one, it's wrong. Two, it's for election purposes. We have a president who is not just politically correct, he is always correct. When it comes to politics, his decisions might not be too good, but then what matters to us is the fact that he says the proper thing, he does the proper thing that moves this country forward. So if PDP is saying this, for me, it's just one of those things they need to say. They have to be on air. They have to talk.
Okay.
He's just doing his job.
It's just a normal ranting.
He's just ranting. There's nothing wrong about him saying what he's saying. And him saying that Mr. President worked in Abacha's regime.
And when this happened,
it's pathetic.
Either by words or by actions?
It's pathetic that realities can be turned into politics. How did he serve under Abacha? Please. He was never a minister. How did he serve? Please, he should explain that to us. How he assumed, because I want to believe it's in his figment of assumption, how Mr. President served in Abacha's government. That we need an explanation, because for me to serve under you, I must... No. It's interesting. We are politicians, so we gave him a job to do. I'm happy we are in government and he's delivering well. Presently, he's our employee on the other side. He's just doing his job. I don't think that should be a problem. Whatever PDP says, it's politics. It's one of those things we expect. If not, we will not be talking about this if he did not say this.
All right, now again, there was another point raised, and he said if President Buhari generously and genuinely wants to honor Chief Abiola, he should do so by ending all anti-democratic possibilities of his administration and allow the rule of law and respect for our constitution to stay. Now, before you react to this, we saw Falana, the son, congratulating Mr. President and of course hailing him for the job well done and doing the proper thing. Now, but one of the experts in his statement is the fact that by June 12th, he's recommending that amongst our recommendations that prisoners, especially those that are innocent, and then all the laws, those that are innocent should be set free by June 12th, is his recommendation, and that all the laws that have been passed, all the court judgment should be properly followed. There should be full compliance to all the legal judgments we've heard. And I had to bring this together with what the chief PDP spokesperson have said, but before then, I think we have a call to pick. Hello, good morning to you. Please, can you speak up and turn down the volume of your TV set properly? You say your name is what? From Abia State. Okay, please go ahead. Niger State, please go ahead.
Well, I may say I disagree a little bit with what this man is saying. Because if you talk about legal identity, what we consider, if you check during the time of peace, there are a lot of different compared to the administration of General Muhammad Buhari. And you think, like, you can't read that issue of Kano State during when the students stand and speaking for the election. If we should programmed by people, and they can whatever they want to do, they can do. Because the candidate is not just invented himself. It was programmed by an individual. So it can be manipulated anytime they want to. So the issue of good luck coming down, congratulating Muhammad Buhari, it is because of the message the Northerners are passing to us. So for peace to reign, he accepted it. If not, he has a lot of facts. He has a lot of facts to place against Muhammad Buhari. That is what I have to say for now.
Thank you very much. I think you're still staying glued to your TV. He will react to your point. Think.
I keep saying one thing every time I come here. We need to be realistic.
So you think the last caller is not realistic?
Yes, he says he lives in Mina and elections in Kano. He knows all about it. 2, he said card reader can be manipulated. PDP procured card reader. PDP gave out card reader for the general election. So if you are talking of manipulation, are you saying that PDP manipulated card reader for APC to win elections? So I don't think that is an issue. For me, what is most important is the fact that history has been made. Right now, you want to contest an election in Nigeria, people will ask, who is the governor, who is the deputy governor? 1, 2, what is the religion of the governor, what is the religion of the deputy governor? The first time in Nigeria we had 2 people with the same religion on the same ticket, they won an election was June 12.
Okay, now away from the last caller, I asked a question which was intercepted by the call we have. Now, the rule of law, the issue of the rule of law not being upheld by this administration is there. Like I told you, now Falana hailed Mr. President. He's comfortable that this happened. This is history. But on the other side, he's making a silent point in form of his what he thinks should be done. Now, he's still stressing on the point that all the court judgments, all the judgment that the court have passed should be duly followed. And PDP is raising the same thing here.
I will tell you one thing, that Falana is a wonderful person. And he knows better than I do when it comes to the issue of law. Yes, there could be judgments, but people appeal judgments. That's what you should be thinking about. How many of the judgments have been appealed? And until the appeal comes out, you cannot say you have procured judgment.
Falana knows more than this.
That's what I said. That's what I'm saying.
If judgments are still at the stage of appeal, I'm not sure he would be saying this.
No. I'm not saying that what he said, I know better than him. I am telling you, there are many judgments that looks like they are done, but the people go back to court to appeal. I am sure one of the major problems we have right now is the fact that we are not used to someone who believes in the rule of law,
and
who allows the judiciary to do their job. This is the first time I can tell you since 1999 that we have a government, a political party that allows the judiciary to do its job. And we are not used to it. You understand? And it will take time. It has become culture that impunity is a way of life. And right now we are saying no to it. In the judiciary, no to it. In the legislature, no to it.
Amongst the reactions that showed this, I had to go on Twitter and I was going through some things. Then there was something. Other people were just busy, saying you're just doing this to score political points, you're doing that, why some are commending him for doing that. Now, there was one that captured my attention. The young man said, fine, this is what you've done. It's nice, we accept it. It's history, right? Good. Now, at this point, is this the only challenge that Nigerians have? He says he doesn't think that is the challenge that Nigerians have. Rewriting history. He mentioned poverty, he mentioned unemployment, he mentioned insecurity, he mentioned so many things there. So, I really don't want us to bring it out because of our time. But at this point, I want to tell you something. Is it what Nigeria need, sincerely?
First and foremost, people have applauded all over. We are politicians, and we are here to score political points.
Okay,
so if doing the right thing, no. Of course, if doing the right thing scores you good point, why not do it?
Hold on there. You have a call. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Peter, calling from Kaduna.
Kaduna, okay. Please go ahead.
There's something I want to contribute. We are not deceiving ourselves.
Okay.
We are also deceiving ourselves. All these things are political arrangement and everything. Why give it Abiola? What is Abiola done for Nigeria? You understand? Many people have died. So, is it the same blood that flow inside Abiola? So the one Boko Haram killed, all the people that have lost their faith, are they not having the same blood? Remember what the last week against Abiola and Babato? International ITT. You understand? Let's stop political things. First Nigeria, because our leaders don't fear God. And then we don't tell them, a day is coming. That day, God will judge every one of them. Is it not better to have eternity with God and to have eternity with the devil? Why don't you do the right thing? Because devil is deceiving. They just devil deceiving them. And at the end of the day, they are lost, they will get the reality. Because any political person that will discuss it as still one naira of the masses, you will account for God. Because the institution of Nigeria, of government, is waited by God. If they follow that place, Nigeria will never have problem. Because there becomes problem because everybody wants to serve the devil. They're like, because the devil ways is easier. You understand? They God bless Nigeria. We want the God will restore this country and give us the right leaders.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Please stay safe in Kaduna State. Oh.
You mentioned insecurity. You mentioned that somebody wrote on Twitter. I can assure you, Nigeria is safer than it was before 2015.
Okay, now hold on there. Please, can you react to this first or continue?
Like you keep saying, everybody has his own opinion as individual. So if he feels Abiola has not done anything, I guess he needs to read more. I was telling somebody, learning, to learn. Learning is a permanent change of behavior as a result of prior or past experience. And for learning to take place, there has to be a connection between the stimulus and the response. I think some people need to learn more on why certain decisions are taken, especially a wonderful one like June 12th. They should go and read history and understand the need for this proper thing that has been done today. This proper thing that has scored a wonderful point. If you call it political point, there's nothing wrong in getting political points. This is democracy. Let's say it's election. So if doing the proper thing makes you win election, why not do it?
Now, before this last caller called, someone was saying that, it is the proper thing you've done. But at this point, this is not what we need. People are dying, right? There's heavy unemployment. There are things we need you to fix. So doing this is not really what we need at this point. Now, the last caller came from another angle. He's saying if you want to remember history, not just Abiola, like you said, is left for him. Probably he does not. Your advice is for him to go back and in history. But there's another point he made. He said there are other history, or there are other events that have gone down the history, and he mentioned people being killed by Boko Haram. Still raising the security issues. I want you to join this together and react to this.
I told you just before I was cut short that Nigeria is safer today than it was before 2015. I'm a Muslim. There were times before 2015 where praying in certain mosques was like getting ready to go and die. You were not sure. You enter a mosque, somebody comes with just a black leather bag with his goods inside. You are scared, you will jump out. I commute between here and Kaduna almost every week. You were scared that somebody will mob you on the way.
So all that have stopped now?
You can't deny the fact that for those of us who probably stay in Kaduna sometimes, ask anybody. Sundays before were crazy days for us. You were not interested in going out. All the roads were blocked where there were churches. Fridays were the same thing. We do not have that now. How many times have we heard of? We are not as scared as we were before 2015. I know as human beings we have tendency to forget good things easily.
All right, I think we'll have a message and I would want to read it out for you, Steve, for you to react. He said, I want to commend President Buhari for honoring late MK Abiola. However, What I do not understand is why the president choose to patronize that over what we have right now, over the issues we are having right now, still in line with what we are discussing. Now, the question Nigerians are asking, what Nigerians are asking anyways, is this is good and proper. You have made history, right? But at this point, is this what we need?
There's this hierarchy of needs and wants.
So you think history
no.
or historical events are more better than...
No. I want people to be objective. I know it's difficult. Abraham Maslow once said, complete objectivity, no matter how desirable, is usually entirely impossible. The objectivity of Mr. President, it's 180 million people. You can't satisfy everybody doing the right thing.
Sure.
You have those that will know it's the right thing, like this person who sent you an SMS, but he feels something is better. That's his opinion. There's nothing wrong in having an opinion. That is democracy. That is the beauty of democracy. Everybody has a right, for as long as it stops right with your nose.
Now the question again, I want to put it more open or more clearly. Now, do you think at this point, Nigerians that are hungry needs history or historical antecedents?
History is something we need to live with every day of our life.
Above hunger?
It's not issue of above hunger.
Unemployment?
It's not issue of above unemployment. You have to understand something, that you cannot know tomorrow better if you do not know what happened yesterday.
Sure.
The issue of some people even remaining poor has to do with the fact that they do not understand that there was a time in this country where agriculture was the #1 stay of the economy. This also has to do with history.
And
there are so many
gradually going back to agriculture.
Exactly, and we are trying to revive. Yes, we are trying to revive history in the agricultural sector, in the political sector, and I can understand. You say people are hungry. Hunger will always stay with us. We can't eat so much today that we will not be hungry tomorrow. Neither can we prevent hunger tomorrow. So we should work harder than we are working, and Nigerians are very hard-working people. And this present APC government is providing the enabling environment for people to go back to the land. I can assure you, I was seeing the documentary
just yesterday. Is that happening in Benue State because of insecurity? People that have farms can't go back to their farms.
No.
Is that a generic statement? Or can we narrow it down to...
No, I don't want us to be pessimistic about the reality. People are farming in Benue.
Okay.
People still go to farm in Benue. It is not the whole. It is not the whole of Benue that is having issues.
Sure. Now, even if it's one person that has to in Nigeria, the person is a Nigerian.
Exactly.
And we can attribute the whole thing back to Nigeria.
I can assure you that it could not have been better than it is.
All right, we'll pick this last call, and after this, we'll be able to pick another call again. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Please turn down the volume of your TV set. All right, please, what's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Daniel and I'm calling from Cotonou.
Your name is what?
Daniel.
Daniel, and you're calling from Cotonou. Please go ahead.
Okay. Talking about what you said at this president is honorable. If Buhari wants to be what is right at this time, he should apologize to all those who be even preaching the last nation. The family of great Alex Okoye, family of Ransom Kochi. Now we know that Buhari is trying to do the right thing. Otherwise, he's just trying to keep it beyond us to vote for him in 2019. We are not this.
All right, thank you very much. And that will be our last caller for today. Now, he said, if Buhari wants to do the right thing, he should go back to history. If it's history he wants to leave Nigeria with, and remember people like Alex Ekwima and other people in it. So please react in a minute so we can round up.
It's 180 million people. You cannot have a unison when it comes to voice. We all have our ideas. We all have what we think. We all have what we believe in. That is why democracy has to do with elective offices. That these things that 180 million people believe in, they should choose a group of people to make a decision on their behalf. And I think right now we have Mr. President who is taking wonderful steps and making good decisions on our behalf. And it cannot be better than what APC has. I do not see any other political party providing us right now with somebody better than Mr. President. So let's wait. After his 8 years, God will give us what we deserve.
I still want to remind you that next day is election, not selection, and it's not a political appointment.
Our base is not
so
shaking.
Nigerians are coming out to vote.
Nigerians will appreciate the fact that we have kept faith, and they will vote for us.
All right, that's a wrap up from me, National Discourse Uche Uduma. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. Let's still remember he's a senatorial aspirant for Kogi Senate Central Senatorial District. And of course, I know most of what you say, little wonder he's saying what he's saying. He's an APC staunch member, right? Good. Now, we have a repeat of this program by 9 p.m. every night. For those of us that keep calling, that is a repeat of the program. You can call us live during 9 a.m. in the morning to 10 a.m. in the morning. So when we have the repeat, you can send your contributions or your questions on our social media handles that have been rolling on the screen, and that will still be on the screen is National Discourse. And of course, historical antecedent. No matter the reactions you are trailing to it, the truth is the president has made history. Other things will follow later. Thank you very much for today, and God bless your Nigeria.